Hello, people. How are you doing? Hope you're well. Journey of Manhood is back, and the subtitle is Men's Mental Health. Hello, guys. How are you doing? Hope you're well. My video for today is Journey of Manhood, and the subtitle is Men's Mental Health. Yes, Journey of Manhood, and the subtitle is Men's Mental Health. And I'll take you through the definition of mental health and how mental health issues affect men and women, and the warning signs of mental health condition, and tips of better male mental health. And it goes like this. Mental health, it includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. And it affects how we think, we feel, and act. And it also helps us to determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and to make choices. So mental health affects how we are able to handle stress, like for example, stress as a result of financial issues, stress as a result of relationship issues, amongst other ways in which stress is caused, and how people handle stress, and how people relate with others. Yeah, and how we make choices, whether good choices or bad choices in our lives. And I'll take you through the ways in which mental health issues affect men and women. And one of them is differences in condition, prevalence, and suicide rates. And women are more likely to experience mental health conditions than men, and they are more likely to attempt suicide. However, men are more than 3.5 times more likely to die from suicide than women. This one means that women, they attempt to do the suicide, while men actually do the suicide. Yes. So women try to do suicide. For example, they try to take pills and other ways, while men actually do the suicide. For example, hanging themselves on a rope, jumping from a high building, amongst other ways. Yeah, and this one takes place not only in our country, Kenya, but also throughout the world. And the second way is different influencing factors, in that the men are told that they are the breadwinners in the family, and they are to display traditional masculine traits, for example, strength and control, whereby the man is to take control of the family. A man ought to be strong. A man ought to not to show emotions while they're going through difficult moments. They're supposed to remain strong. Yeah, and if they show any emotions or weakness, they're not portrayed as men. Yeah, and also this relying on yourself and not seeking help from others. That is when you have problems, you think that I can handle I can handle this by myself, I can handle life by my own. But the truth is, you can't handle life on your own. It will reach a point where you need people's help. And not speaking openly about their emotions. Men, they hide their emotions. When they are out there, they are fine, looking happy, looking cheerful, but inside they are struggling. Inside they are crying. Yes. And the third way is differences in seeking help. Men are less likely than women to seek treatment for issues, for example, depression, for example, substance abuse, and stressful life events. So men are less likely to seek treatment for what they are going through, what is making them depressed. For example, in 2020 to 2021, the time when coronavirus was taking place, people lost their jobs, and men were more likely to get depressed as a result of losing their jobs, failing to provide for their families as a result of losing their jobs due to the pandemic taking place. There's also substance abuse, whereby men are more likely to use drugs, for example, alcohol, bang, heroin, cigarettes, so as to relieve them from stress, and also stressful life events. For example, at home where there's a lot of stress, where there's always fights between husband and wife. There's also relationship issues where when men feel dumped or are cheated on, they hide their emotions and they don't seek help. Yeah, due to the social norms, whereby they are told not to cry, not to show their emotions, so that they can show their true masculinity. There's also downplaying their symptoms, and also a reluctance to talk, where men are less likely to talk, while women, when they go through problems, they are ready to talk, while men, when they go through problems, they are not ready to talk. And I'll take you through the warning signs of mental health condition. And one of them is aggressiveness, anger, and irritability, whereby men get, when they experience mental health issues, they get aggressive so quickly. They end up beating their women, their girlfriends, and this has taken place in our country, Kenya, where men have been beating their girlfriends. Some have been beating their wives so much, while others, after beating their wives and children, they end up committing suicide. Yeah. Number 2 is change of mood, whereby some men, they change their mood from being happy to sad, others from being happy to being aggressive. Yeah. Number 3 is change of appetite or sleeping habits, whereby someone who used to eat a lot now eats less. Someone who used to sleep early now sleeps late or never sleeps. Yeah. There's also high consumption of alcohol or drugs, where some men when they experience mental health issues, they end up taking drugs and alcohol so that they can be relieved from stress. But the truth is, drugs and alcohol fuel the stress more, and this has taken place not only in our country, Kenya, but also throughout the world. And also thinking about or attempting suicide during the pandemic of coronavirus, suicide rates have escalated as a result of people not being people losing their jobs and other ways. Yeah, and men have more likely to committed suicide during the time of the pandemic of coronavirus. Yeah, and I'll take you through the tips of better male mental health, and one of them is explore, understand, and choose to reject traditional gender roles and male societal expectations. This means that you put less pressure on yourself to conform to what the society deems manly, and be conscious of times you act to this stereotype to see whether you can change it. So do not worry about what people think about you when you don't act like a man as the society expects you to act. Just worry about, just be a man in your own ways. Don't worry about pleasing the society. Yeah. Number 2 is get talking. Whether it is your parents, friends, partner, friends, or counselor, be ready to open up your struggles or issues that you are undergoing. Don't keep it to yourself. Yeah, just make good use of your support system. Number 3 is focus on being yourself, not just a man. Just focus on making yourself happy instead of just being a man, because if you make yourself happy, you're less likely to worry about the traditional stereotypes of manhood as expected by the society. Just focus on making yourself happy. If you make yourself happy, you will not be worried about pleasing the society. And finally, number 4 is avoid using alcohol, drugs to cope. Alcohol and drugs, they're not the solution to end stress. They make stress even more. As they say, alcohol and drugs don't take the pain away, they make the pain worse. So don't rely on drugs when you're going through hard times in your life. Yeah, that is all that I have for this topic of journey of manhood, that is men's mental health. What have you learned from this topic? Comment down below and have a good day.